What the shit is up? Nobody's gonna listen to me. But you should, because I'm doing the things that I'm trying to teach you. You should only listen to people who have actually accomplished the things that you want to accomplish when you're trying to figure out how to do something in life. You wouldn't go to somebody who's chronically obese to learn weight loss.
This is God's plan, someone stop me. I've been sent here from Illuminati. Evil scriptures written on my body.
This video is going to be my little take on how to start your own business, specifically video or photo. It pretty much applies to photo as well, but specifically a videography business, and take that and make it a full-time job, because that is what I've been doing for the past, 3 or 4 months now. I've got like 7 steps that I'm gonna list out to you. Like, they're not that important. It's just like 7 main topics. It's a pretty linear thing. I'm gonna start like, I'm going to start with what you should be doing on the side to start your little side hustle thing, and kind of progress to making that a full-time thing. I really shouldn't do public speaking or anything of that sort. Anyhow, hopefully you find some good stuff in this. Fuck me. Number 1, have something to sell. You can't start a business if you have nothing to sell. You need to sell something to make money. Nobody's gonna pay you to sit on your ass and look pretty. Actually, that's models. Anyway, have something that you're skilled at that people will pay for. In video work, that is being good at filming videos. This could include editing them. It might not necessarily include that, but you can't start a business without having something to sell. That's it for point 1, pretty simple. But you do need to figure that out if you want to go full-time working for yourself. You need to have your thing. What's up? You wanna say hi? Number 2, get really fucking good at it. Once you figure out what you're gonna sell, you can start doing that immediately, but if you suck, you're not gonna be competitive at whatever it is you're doing. So the next step, before you go full-time, before you do anything, like, you want to get really good at whatever it is you're doing. Now, this takes time. You probably aren't gonna go full-time anytime soon if you just bought a camera. You have to perfect your craft first. For the most part, you're always gonna be perfecting your craft. A lot of people I see just start doing video work and they don't get better. They continue doing the same exact stuff. They use a lot of preset effects and such, and they just look like everyone else. A lot of people get caught in that cycle where they're charging $300 or $400 for a video, and then they stay there for the rest of their lives. That's not sustainable. It's not gonna work. However, if you can prove that you are significantly better than everyone else, yes, you need to be competitive in whatever it is you're doing. Luckily, I'm a very competitive person and I hate not being the best at something. The better you are at what you are doing, the more people who will notice what you're doing, and the more you can charge for whatever it is you're doing. This is something you should be doing for the rest of your life. Continuously improve. On to step number 3, build a pimpin' portfolio. Nobody's going to blindly hire you to do a video for them if they've never seen your videos before. This can be very hard at first because when you're starting out, you literally don't have a portfolio. So what you can do is either make videos, take photos, whatever, on your own, or like whatever product it is, make those, post them up online, which is probably the best way to like show what you can do. Figure out a social media platform that is right for your target audience. Facebook's a good one for certain things. I think Facebook's kind of dying, actually. Use Instagram. Pinterest is good for certain like crafty things. Just figure out what platform you need to be on and then start a portfolio. You're not gonna get anybody paying you to do videos if you don't have a portfolio, so what you want to do is take your own videos, edit them together, and make them look really freaking good, and use those as a selling point for your work. Or you could do free work for people instead of just making your own content and build your portfolio that way. In order to break into like wedding videography or photography, I think doing free work or shadowing another wedding videographer / photographer is a good way to start. If you want to do music videos, there are plenty of artists that you could get. Just be like, I want to do a free video for you so I can start my portfolio. That'll work. I was very lucky, and the first music video I got to work on was Trippie Redd and Diplo's Wish video.
Wish you would find your chill, cause Lord knows this shit get real. And for this price, you know you kill.
So I didn't really have to do any free work. That was a paid job. It's possible to get lucky, but you're probably gonna have to do some free stuff at first. The way I had gotten that job actually was using edits from my vlogs that I had created. So I did have like a portfolio, but not really. I had work that I could use to show what I could do. But once you get the ball rolling, keep building that portfolio and only post your best work on there. A lot of people post like every single thing they do, and it's just like, this piece was really good, and then the next one's like very mediocre. I don't do that. If there's a piece that I'm not entirely happy with, I don't post it on my portfolio. So it's kind of a pain when people are like, yo, post my video on your portfolio, and I was like, no, it's my portfolio, fuck off. Anyhow, build a really good portfolio because that is your main selling point. Number 4, market yourself. Now that you have your selling point, your portfolio, you need to market yourself. This is the part that fucking sucks about any business. Marketing sucks. It is the most painful, annoying, shitty, lame, stupid part of running your own business, but you have to do it. I know, you're creative. You're not a business person. You're not a fucking marketing major in college. But if you want to sell something, create a business, be an entrepreneur, you need to learn a little bit about marketing and grind away at the actual marketing. So how do you market videos and photos or whatever it is you're selling? I think the best platform to be on right now for a creative is Instagram. Facebook has slightly more people than Instagram. Actually, Instagram might have passed it because I saw that statistic like a year ago. Instagram is what's big right now. The way I would go about specifically marketing your stuff is to simply reach out to artists. That's one way. The other way is to use relevant hashtags so people can discover you that way. Shout outs, nah. I've gotten shouted out by pages with 1 million followers and gained like 10 followers from it. It almost does nothing. So this kind of goes along with building your portfolio. As you do that, you want to use relevant hashtags. I get reached out to from a lot of people simply because I use the hashtag LA videographer, and people will find me through that. There's like NYC videographer, there's San Fran videographer. It exists in most big cities. That's another thing. If you're in a big city, it'll make this a lot easier for you to be found. Nobody's gonna be searching like Fort Mill videographer, Rock Hill. These are like small cities in South Carolina that are right near where I grew up. Charlotte is where I'm from. So Charlotte videographer would probably return some because it's a pretty big city. The bigger the city, the more people that are there and the more people that are likely to come across your work. So that is why I'm in LA. It is a much easier spot to find artists to work with since I primarily do music videos. New York's another big one. Chicago's a big one. Being in a big city definitely helps when it comes to being discovered via hashtags. If you're not in a big city, don't worry. You can still find work. It's just it's just gonna suck a little more. Regardless of whether you're in a big city or not, you're probably going to have to manually reach out to your target audience, target clients via Instagram DM, assuming you're on Instagram for your whatever the fuck you're doing. When I first started out, I would take an hour every morning and reach out to as many people on Instagram as possible to find work. And a lot of times, since you're reaching out to them and they're not already interested in what you're doing, you have to discount to get those first few jobs, which kind of stinks. I currently charge $1,200 per music video, and the odds of me reaching out to someone being like, you want to pay $1,200 for a music video is just relatively low. Especially since it's kind of hard to reach out to like bigger artists with bigger budgets since they get DMs from 1 million motherfuckers. And please excuse my, actually I don't care. I really don't care. Back on topic, I would spend a lot of time DMing people and reaching out a lot of times with discounts and find work that way. When the client reaches out to you, always quote your full price because they're way more likely to accept that because they're already interested in your work. So yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what I do for marketing. It's a lot of Instagram DMs and posting as often as possible under relevant hashtags when I have something I want to put on my portfolio, because my portfolio is primarily Instagram. I have a website as well, but people are fucking lazy and don't go to it, so they pretty much just skim through my Instagram. And it's a better representation of my overall work anyway because you can see like some of everything I've done. Now, during all of steps 1 through 4, you're still probably working a bitch job. That's what I call the job that you're doing because you don't, that you don't want to do because you still haven't made enough money to make your side hustle your full-time job. So number 5 is where we're starting to transition into going full-time. So step number 5, figure out how much money you actually need and make that your budget. Don't be a bitch. Spend less money on shit you do not need, like eating out. This part is hard for most people because they're used to living in comfort. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable. I literally eat so much rice, eggs, and beans. I love it though. I mean, like, and bacon. Those are my staples. It's cheap. I can live off like a pack of bacon, a couple dozen eggs, rice, and a couple cans of beans in a week. Probably costs like 15 bucks. Stop eating out all the time. It's like, if you're trying to budget and like figure out the bare minimum you need to survive, stop eating out. That's like the biggest money drain I think most people have. I hate seeing people be like, oh, I don't have money, and then I watch their Instagram stories and they're eating out every single day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, food is good. Yeah, you want to have food, but you also want to work for yourself full time, apparently, if you're watching this. Weigh the options. What do you want more? Do you want to build your own business and live freely, or do you want to eat sushi every goddamn day? Your choice. It's not easy. At first, you want to figure out the bare minimum amount of money you need per month to survive. Now, definitely don't throw away a shit ton of money on rent. Don't get a bomb ass place for no reason while you're trying to like figure this out. This is hard for people who are jumping from like a 50K, 60K salary or even more and trying to do their own thing. That's a hard transition. You might be paying like 2K plus on rent and then you need to pay like 800 or 900 and you're like, fuck, I can't do it. Suck it up. Gary Vee says this all the time, eat shit for a couple months, build your business, focus on that, and stop worrying about how comfortable your life is. I say this because if you lower your expenses, that'll make it much easier to meet your minimum income required via your side hustle, what you're trying to make your full-time job. And the lower your monetary needs are, the faster you can go full-time. And the faster you go full-time, the quicker you'll be able to expand and make more money and then just get over that little hump. Number 5 is very important. Just minimize your costs. Like, don't spend money on alcohol every weekend. Don't spend money on fucking weed all the time, like every goddamn day, like some people out here in LA. You shouldn't be smoking and drinking all the time anyway if you're really that motivated. In my opinion, some people are very functional on marijuana. I'm not. And now we are at number 6. Keep getting better. Keep building your portfolio. Keep marketing. That's literally it. Just keep doing everything I have already said. That's number 6. Eventually, clients will start coming to you, making the marketing portion easier, and you can put more time into your actual work. Life becomes less stressful and all that shit. You'll start being able to charge more. By the way, know your worth. Don't undercharge because people will abuse that. They'll overwork you. They'll try to not pay you. The number of clients I've had that try to not pay or try to underpay is just fucking phenomenal. It's so goddamn annoying. Yo, bro, like, we're cool though. You should give me like a fucking huge discount. I'm like, this is your first DM to me on Instagram that I ever received. You can with it. A lot of people fuck that up and don't hold true to their prices and they work for dirt cheap and it's just like sad because they get worked into the ground. You can't expand if you're constantly doing work for pretty much nothing. Now, step number 7. This is the last one, guys. I feel like this video has gone on very long. I hope I've been recording. I almost fucking shat my pants. Number 7, take the leap. Quit your full-time job, quit your bitch job, quit your side job, whatever the hell you're doing, and make your side hustle your full-time thing. Once you're making like decent income, even if it's not enough to be full-time income for you or satisfy your minimum income, use the time that you create by quitting whatever it is you were doing before and put that into your business full-time and you'll be fine. Use that discomfort, use that uncertainty to drive progress. Force yourself to make that minimum income and not become a homeless person. Now, I know I'm incredibly lucky. I have a family that has decent money. Like, we're not poor as shit. So I have that backup. And I actually had to use that a couple times because I fucked up. Everyone fucks up though. Where if you don't meet that minimum income, just be like, Mom and Dad, I really need like $300 or $400 this month. Please help me. I'll pay you back. That should be a last resort though, because you don't want to rely on that. However, if you do have that comfort, realize that your parents aren't gonna let you be homeless. So like, take the jump and make goddamn sure you make that minimum income. And if you don't, ask for help. Remember, that's a last resort because you do not want to rely on that. You won't be successful. There were a couple months I had where I was scrambling for money by the end of the month and I was like, I could ask my parents for like $200 to pay my rent, or I could be a fucking badass and make it myself. DM like 1 million people and just make that last minute. You want to do the latter because the end goal here is to become self-sufficient anyway. It's hard, it's very stressful, sometimes financially especially, but if you build that mindset where you don't depend on anyone else, build that tough skin and be like, I'm going to fucking do this. And yeah, when you take the leap, you should be totally fine, because if you're doing your finances right and you have like a low enough minimum income, it shouldn't be that hard to figure out a way to make that money. It's just very stressful. It'll make you anxious at the end of the month sometimes, but it's necessary to get to where you want to be. Nobody said this was like a very easy thing. It's incredibly stressful, especially since there is no comfort to it. It's all on you and you have no one to blame. That's about it. You took the leap. Now you just have to fucking do it. That's it for the video. Long story short is figure out what you want to do, get really good at it, build a portfolio, market it properly, and then really just repeat all that, grind away until you're making what you know you're worth. It seems pretty straightforward like that, but it's really hard, really stressful, but you can do it. Like, anybody can do it. Actually, no, I disagree with myself. Not anybody can do it, but if you put your mind to it and you're motivated enough, you can do it. And that's another thing. You're not always going to be motivated, so you just have to grind through. If you have any questions on any of this or would like me to elaborate further, just leave any questions in the comment section below. You can go to my Instagram at Kocak, it's just my name. DM me. I'd really love to help because it's incredibly awesome being able to work for myself, not take orders. I don't do well taking orders from other people because I tend to have disagreements with literally everyone on like mindset, just like how things should be run, just a lot of things in general. Kudos to my parents for like surviving having me as a child. But yeah, it's incredibly nice being able to work purely on my own schedule for myself, not having to wake up to an alarm, grind away for a few months, and you could probably do the same thing as long as you have something that you want to sell or like build a business off of. And no, it's not going to be a few months for everyone. It can take much longer. I've been doing videos for years. It's just I didn't start trying to make that my full-time job until this year. And luckily, I've been relatively successful. So leave any questions below. I hope this video was helpful. I meant to make this like a month ago. I put up an Instagram poll and everyone was like, yeah, you should make a video on that. But here's the video. And yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know anything else you'd like to see. Thanks for watching, guys.
Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the fuck though. I don't bluff, bro. Aiming at your head like a buffalo. What the fuck though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Wow, get the fuck though.